So our friends from Coffai sent us this automated brewer to try out. At first glance, it looks so sleek, very futuristic looking. The material is made out of plastic. It doesn't feel cheap. The machine also comes with your very own V60, your server, pack of filter papers. So the water tank material is made out of Tritan plastic, which is BPA free and can hold up to 100 degrees Celsius. At the bottom, you have a rubber mat, which you can take off when you clean. You can wipe it off, you can wash it off. And what's good about this, it has a backstop where you can place your server and it sits directly at the center of the dispensing spout. So you have 5 dispensing spouts. Long press. There are light indicators. So this means we need to add water to the tank, the Bluetooth connection, and this brewing sizes of your coffee, so that's small, medium, and large. Press this to select. What's good about this brewer is that you can connect it to the Hikaru app. You can customize your recipes. When you open the app, very straightforward, right? So there's small, medium, and large. So when you select the amount of coffee you want to brew, you can choose between the roast levels. So you have light, medium, and dark. Each of them has a specific temperature for that roast level. What's confusing though is that it doesn't say how much coffee and how much water you're going to use for that particular setting. So you can see recipes from Hiroia, Tetsukasuya, and Jake Hu. These are only 5 master recipes that you can choose from. Okay, let's just try brewing without coffee inside. When you hit the brewing button, color changes. This is a light panel. It changes in color depending on the stages of brewing. This indicates that the machine is heating up the water. So it takes a bit of a long time to heat up. For the cover, I think this white plastic thing helps with the condensation. It's allowing it to bloom. You can set the time here. The third 300 ml of water, I guess. Let's check. 280. Now that we know how much water the machine dispenses when we use the small setting, we can now try it with our coffee. Ethiopian coffee, 18 grams. That's roughly a 1:15 ratio. It's up to you if you want to rinse your filters before you brew. Let's just set it like that, and then let's press start. It won't start your brewing if it knows that the amount of water you have in the tank is not enough for your recipe. Looks like that, given that it pours at the center, so that's normal. You get those floral notes, you get those berry notes. I'm very curious to taste how different it is when we brew coffee using the traditional pour-over method. The next thing that I'll be doing is brewing with the traditional method and then comparing my brew to the recipe that I'll be customizing using the application. We'll be using the same type of brewer, the same filters, the same coffee, and the same water temperature. So I'll be trying to replicate my traditional recipe with this machine. Let me just try and show you how to personalize the recipe using the app. Let's go to my recipe. It brings you to this page. So let's set 18 grams of coffee. Let's set it like that. And then let's do 92 degrees Celsius. And the first pour, our bloom, let's set the bloom to 15 grams of coffee for this one. Yes, at 92 degrees, since this is a very light roast. Okay, let's do a 1:16 ratio. So it automatically also computes your coffee to water ratio. So that step 1 is bloom. So you can see here the water volume. Next, it shows you the flow level. So that's how strong the water dispenses from the spout. I want an aggressive bloom since we're taking into consideration that the water only dispenses at the center and not on the side. So we want that agitation. And we'll be blooming our coffee for, let's say, 30 seconds. There you go. Let's set that one. So the next pour is also 60 ml. So we're doing 4 60 ml pours. And this time still at a very high flow. And we'll be waiting for 15 seconds before the next pour. Another pour, same. Another 60 ml pour, but this time let's pour a little bit slower, putting it down to 8, the flow level. We're setting it at 8 and the interval at 10 seconds this time. And then for the last pour, another 60 ml. Flow rate slower. So now it's at 6 and there should be no more interval since that would be the last pour. The recipe can go up to 5 pours. You can see it in the application. It says we're using a total of 240 ml and the ratio of 1:16. Let's save this. Oh, input recipe name. Where? Here? Okay. Test brew. Let's save that. You can also set descriptors with sweetness, acidity, body, aftertaste, and aroma. Once you set it to P, every time you use this brewer without the application, you can just simply set it to P and you don't have to use the application when brewing. And then I'll be brewing against the machine. So it's gonna heat up and then brew side by side. Okay, it beat me to the bloom. Let's do 60 grams for 30 seconds. So you also want to make sure that it's perfectly centered to your coffee bed. When water dispenses, it hits the center. 30 seconds, there we go. Wow. It's done and we're just waiting for it to go through the coffee bed and the filter. Okay, so if you want an even bed, watch your brewer while it's brewing. You can agitate it while it's brewing. It's time to taste. This is my brew. The one without a mark is the Hikaru. So we're doing a blind tasting of the coffees brewed by the Hikaru and by myself. Well, the goal is tasting alike without much difference.
Tenen Industries.
Tenen Industries.
2, 1, and go.
So the coffee that we voted that tasted better, yeah, may mark. So that's the coffee that I brewed. For the Hikaru brew, it just lacked acidity and brightness, which I think we can still improve by customizing the recipe. If we can also add a bit of agitation, so maybe that can improve the brew. We'll be playing around with this brewer and then we'll let you know how to cap off this video. I think this machine is perfect for those home brewers who like to try a lot of single origin coffees and play around with different recipes and don't have much time to prepare. Take a bit of time learning the recipes, setting that particular recipe for that particular origin. Grind your coffees, place your filter, place your brewer, and by a press of the button in the app, you're brewing coffee. Like if you figure out that a particular recipe for a particular coffee, it's very easy to replicate. Thank you, Coffai, for lending us this Hikaru brewer, and we hope to play around with it more. That's it for now, and we'll see you in the next one.